One of the most painful challenges for older children and their parents is how to get mom and dad to give up their keys. So where do you start? How do you know when it's time?
First of all, it is one of the most difficult, and it's going to get worse for the boomer generation because we are so used to independence. So here are some of the things that you want to know. Unfortunately, it takes a family. This one really does take a family. And you have to be very ginger about it. You have to sit down and ask mom or dad, and honestly, it's usually dad, who doesn't want to give the keys up. How is he driving? Can he see? And say as follows: what we really want to accomplish is for you to be able to drive for as long as you possibly can, not to take your keys away. That conversation shouldn't start at that time. It should start before that. And so what you do is you say, let's be in the car together, because I know you had a little bumper problem, you hit a mailbox. I mean, something's going to happen that's going to trigger this family meeting.
So go for a ride with them.
Go for a ride with them.
Casually.
And take a look at a couple of things. One thing is the seat height. We absolutely shrink. We do. And sometimes we simply can't see because we don't adjust the seat. It can be as simple as the fact that somebody doesn't have the right ergonomics in the car. Then there are cars, new cars, and maybe the family, maybe this gentleman or lady can drive, but because of the kind of car they're driving, it's too big, it doesn't have self-park, you can't see behind. Maybe there's some technology that could be the next step. But if you know for sure that the keys should be given up, one of the most important things you can do is you can ask the person to take a driver's test. There are driver's tests, not required. In Canada, they might be required, but in the U.S., not required. And see what happens with that test. Let them see in their own personal judgment that they can no longer drive. Now, last and unfortunately not least is if there's real stubbornness. They won't cooperate with any of these research, self-evaluation types of things. And they won't take new classes because they can relearn to drive too. You have to get the keys away. Well, the fact is that sometimes you simply have to say, do it for me. Just do it for me. Dad, this is something you're doing for me. It's the hardest thing in life that you'll ever have to do for me. You've done a lot. I want you to do one more thing. If you ask them to do it for themselves, it'll never happen. If you tell them that you're worried about them, don't worry about me, it'll never happen. It's something I need. And then, of course, we can go on another time to talk about how they can get substitute transportation.
I was just going to say, we would flip it with my father, who got frustrated of, now you get to be fancy. Now you get to let somebody be at your beck and call, and you don't have to worry about the car and all of that. So to flip it. But it's difficult. So
it is difficult, but let me also tell you that I deal with so many folks at this stage, not so much the older adult, but the people trying to get the keys away. There is a secret wish for many older drivers that they are forced to give up the keys. They really don't want to drive, many people. Many of them really would like to give it up. It's just too much of an admission of failure or defeat. And yet, they like the idea that somebody's taking care of them. So this could work if you understand the psychology of the older adult. Of course, we have now the sharing environment, which is the Ubers and the Lyfts. We have accessible cars like this that can be hired. You can go to your senior center and they'll tell you exactly what their link route is, because so that seniors can get anywhere that they want to go without driving themselves in the community. All these things become available and opens up new doors.
Great advice. Thank you. If you like what you just saw, we have many more videos with Adriane Berg and with more experts at bottomlineinc.com. And do me a favor, do that social thing. Share it. Tell your friends, tell your family. Come to bottomlineinc.com.